So hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today on this video I'll tell you about manual testing and manual testing types and how that manual testing will work in agile methodologies, or how can you involve that manual testing inside agile methodologies. So guys, this video it will I hope this video will able to clear your understanding regarding manual testing in agile development or inside that agile framework. So guys, let's start this video. So guys, before start that one, let me introduce about manual testing. So what is manual testing, guys? So manual testing is a kind of process. In that process we are actually manually checking that software and we are identifying the defects. So defects in the sense of like tester has branch of test cases, and so we are executing the test cases without automation tool, and we are executing the cases one by one, and based upon the test cases we are identifying the defect. So that the full procedure is called manual testing in a very nutshell way. But manual testing also have lots of complications. So many kind of types are there, so many kind of methodologies has involved here. So what is the importance of manual testing, guys? So basically it need for identifying the issue. So for that way like our requirement will be proper and our software will be proper, and we can stop that bug before going to production, or here it will improve that user experience. And also as a tester job, we have to analyze that our software based upon that our requirement and based upon that our test cases. Got it? So this is a this whole procedure is actually called manual testing, and those guys who are executing the cases manually called manual tester, guys. So here let me tell you that what how many types are there in manual testing. So guys, there were lots of types are there, but that most like popular types I am trying to portray here. So first thing is like exploratory testing. So this testing method, tester actually explore the application without having any kind of predefined test cases, and using their experience or of that domain, and based upon different kind of testing experience on different kind of software, different kind of domain, they are exploring that application and they are identifying the defects and issues. So this testing is called exploratory testing. Then most popular that is called functional testing. So functional testing is kind of testing through that way we are validating the software functionality is proper according to the like specified requirement or not. So here we have branch of functional scenarios. That functional scenarios we are executing it based upon that our software requirement, and we that procedure itself is called functional testing, guys. Then we have regression testing. Now regression testing, that it actually ensure that our old functionality should work properly, and like for new functionality also should work properly. Because of new functionality, that our own functionality should not be broken, and all things should be work proper. So that is called regression testing, guys. So here basically we are in like testing that our code changes, and that will that should not be affect that our existing features. Then we have integration testing, guys. Integration testing, here we are testing the data flows between the two modules. We have branch of methodologies need to follow, like top to bottom approach, bottom to top approach, hybrid approach. I'll tell you later in this video, guys. So basically here we are checking the data flow or integration between the two modules. So that is called integration testing, guys. Then we have user acceptance testing or UAT testing. So on that testing we are portray ourselves as an end user, and we are trying to identify the defects based upon that like requirement. So that is called user acceptance testing, guys. Then we have smoke testing. Smoke testing, it is kind of basic check before taking the feature inside that our test bed and staging. We have to check that our full functionality. So that functionality itself is called that smoke testing. So it is kind of crucial functionality we are checking before start the testing. Then we have performance testing. So that testing actually helps us to ask for so in this case we are testing that our software based upon that our load, and software performance based upon that our load. So through that way we can test that our performance of the software. Then guys, we have ad hoc testing. So ad hoc testing also is called a informal testing, because here we are not going through any kind of documentation. So here a tester also checking that our application randomly. So guys, one difference is there based on that ad hoc and exploratory testing. Exploratory testing itself, we are explore the application, but ad hoc is not like that. Ad hoc testing, we are like doing testing without having any kind of proper procedure. So through that way we are identifying the defects. So we have branch of negative scenarios, we are testing it, we are going here there, like that way we are testing that our application. Then we have alpha and beta testing. Mostly that testing will be done by end customer or end user, but tester also will do that alpha and beta testing. So through that way we can get to know that more bugs, like initially that software will be released in the beta, so they will test that our software, and like end user will test that our software, and they will give that feedback. Based upon that feedback we will improve that our software. So that is called beta testing. Alpha testing is kind of internally testing, where the developer and testers are involved and they're testing that entire application. That is called alpha testing, guys. Then we have security testing, where that manual tester trying to penetrate that our website without having with having some kind of tools like SQL injection, like HTML injection, and some kind of threads we are able to identifying, and we have some kind of password and data leakage we are identifying that. So that is called as a security testing, guys. So these all are testing type inside that manual. Now let me tell you the most important types of manual testing. So first thing is like functional testing. So what is the functional testing? So if we are testing that software functionality based upon that our requirement specification, that is called functional testing. So inside functional testing, like we have two example, like one is smoke testing, another is sanity testing. Smoke testing in the sense of here we are checking that basic and critical feature firstly, and sand testing is like it is a more narrow approach, where that we are testing that specific functionality after have some changes. So inside functional testing we are testing bunch of positive scenarios, negative scenarios, and how that it involved in agile. So here for every sprint, for taking that every new feature, we have to run that one kind on functional testing, guys. Then we have non-functional testing. Non-functional testing itself, so here we are checking the usability, readability of the application. We're checking the performance of that application, how that software looks like, how that it is a usable for that user, for end user. So these things we are checking inside that non-functional testing. So how that it involve? So during after that like sprint, so we have to test one kind round of non-functional testing. So here we'll able to get to know the other things about that our software, and also we have to identify that our GUI is proper or not as per user experience. So this kind of things comes under non-functional testing. Then we have regression testing. So regression testing is nothing but a retesting of that entire application. So it is actually for a insurance purpose, like we are ensure that that no new defect will be introduced. And so here we are running the previously test cases after that bug fixes and for that new feature implementation. So that in agile, in the inside that end of the sprint, so before releasing that we have to do one round of regression cycle. So we'll get to I will identify that some kind of extra bug that need to be fixed before that each releases, and that bug actually held from any new feature or not. So that thing will identify inside that regression testing, guys. Then we have exploratory testing. It is kind of informal testing concept. So here we don't have without predefined test cases. We are actually focusing to discover the defect through that user experience. So mostly the ad hoc based testers are doing that exploratory testing. Sometimes like most experienced tester, they are also doing that exploratory testing, because here we are not go with any kind of proper flow, or not go with any kind of structured flow or test case flow. We are just explore that our application based upon that our experience or tester experience. So that is called exploratory testing, guys. Then UAT experience, so it conduct mostly this thing is conducted by end user, or sometimes it like tester also do as per real world scenario. So tester put themselves as a real user, and they are trying to execute the real world scenario or real world problem inside the software, and they are trying to identify the bug. So this is called user acceptance testing. So that inside that agile, that it should be performed before that final release, but because that it actually ensure that customer satisfaction, guys. Then we have alpha and beta testing. I already told alpha testing inside that alpha testing actually held by a developer and tester before releasing that our software. Beta testing will be held by end user or customer, and they are giving that feedback. Based upon that feedback, we'll recognize that we are trying to change that our software. We're trying to like identify the defects. So this thing called alpha and beta testing. Then inside that agile testing, we have some kind of principle, guys. Principle in the sense of, first thing is collaboration, guys. We have to collaborate properly. That collaboration should be happen inside from tester, from developer, from stakeholder side, and it is kind of iterative testing process. So testing is integrated process. For each and every iteration we need to test it, and for every release we have to take that continuous feedback coming from that end user, feedback coming from the tester side, feedback coming came from that like customer side. All things we have to recognize. So these all are agile principle. Now what is the role of manual testing inside agile? So guys, without doing manual testing we cannot proceed, because like agility inside the testing, it is a very crucial thing, because through the manual testing actually allows that flexibility to adapt the changing requirement, and also it helps us for like getting that immediate feedback, or feedback for feedback uh, like that needed to guide the development like process. And also it empathize that human inside. So tester is a kind of tester, if the tester has some kind of like unique uh, perspective, that most is thing is needed. So it actually ensure that user needs should be met. So inside that agile, we like manual testing is a very crucial process, and that regression thing we can avoid that automation, but manual testing should be near, should be helpful for identifying the bugs and defect. So what is the conclusion for this video, guys? So conclusion in the sense of, here I try to explain that manual testing role inside the software quality. So it is kind of very crucial, and how that it happen inside that agile methodologies. And on this video I'll also explain that inside that agile team, how that manual testing types actually helps. So guys, if any kind of question is there, please comment down. I'll try to give a proper reply. And thank you guys. Thank you for your valuable time. Thanks for watching this video, guys.